Welcome to another edition of Great Health, Abundant Happiness, and Outrageous Love. Mwah.
Oh, you're very vibrant.
Thank you. Thank you. You are too. Hey, Mia, come over here. We're watching our daughter's dog, and I think she thinks she hears them. But anyway, what did you want to talk about today, my love?
So today I want to talk about the toxicity of labels.
Oh, labels, yeah. I'm
Oh
not
my
big on
gosh.
labels.
No, you've always been great about, hi Mia. I don't know if you can see her or not, but she is probably the sweetest, prettiest girl. Yes, you are. This is Mia, our daughter's and her boyfriend's dog that we're watching while they're at the grocery store. So back to the topic. So
Thanks.
yes, the toxicity of labels. And you've been great about not putting labels, upon yourself or upon others.
Well, I try. I'm not perfect at it. I'm always working at it. But
Right.
yeah. But they just.
Yeah.
I've got a few examples.
Right.
Is that what you want to talk about?
Yeah. So I have some notes here because I want to try to stay on task. Too many people are getting caught up in putting a label on their journey. The twin flame journey, the soulmate journey, the fire movement journey, the great awakening journey, the vegan journey.
Oh, that's a big one.
Big one.
We're both plant based, and I used to tell
By the
Karen
way,
all the
these
time.
are faux fur, just
Yeah,
in case, because I always get comments. I wear a lot of faux fur. We have tons of faux fur blankets, and we have gotten comments like, "Oh my gosh, I can't watch the video when you're talking about being a vegan and you have fur blankets." Always faux.
Yeah, vegans say that, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's like,
Right.
but I'd say to Karen, it's like we'd go to a restaurant, she'd say, we're both vegan. I said, please don't say we're vegan. Even though I guess by the definition we are, by the label we are. So it's interesting. And I have a lot of reasons for saying that, but we're not going to get into it here. But the whole labeling is, you don't like
Right.
that, right? In general.
Right. Just popping into the vegan label for 1 second, there are hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of vegan groups, and some of them are phenomenal. They all have a great journey at heart, but they don't all resonate with what we're about.
So when you say vegan groups, what do you mean? Like, are they in geographic areas? Are these on
Well, there's social media
or
groups. There are actually business groups.
Yeah.
There's tons of groups out there. There are groups that you can join.
But they each have different agendas, right? Yeah,
That's the
right,
word.
yeah.
Different agendas. And I think for Jeffrey and I, we really don't care to be on the bandwagon of an agenda in order to fit into the label. So do we eat only plant-based? Yes, that is true. But, are we defined by that? I don't think so. I don't want to be defined by that because I don't want to be in anyone else's agenda. The same thing goes with, are we twin flames? And that was one of the things that prompted, you'll hear us talking about relationships a lot. And the reason being is we're coming up on our 30th wedding anniversary. We didn't have a long time together before we got married. So we'll be together 30 years in February. And that's something we're really proud of. I am.
Yeah, it was 30 of the best years of my life.
Mine too.
That's good.
Mine too. And we've been together longer than we've been apart. And we work at that. We have a lot of experience in the relationship department that we love to share with anybody who's interested in, learning about that or improving their own relationship or finding out what tools that we use to not only have 30 years together, but every single day is better than the last. We're more attracted to each other, which is pretty much impossible, but it's true.
Everything's possible.
Everything's possible. Than the day we met. And, we were really drawn together like magnets from the beginning. So we want to share that. And I think that's really important that when you're taking advice, you take advice from someone who does have a good amount of experience to share, right? So
Back to the labels.
Back to the labels. So yeah, what I guess started me off on this is that, I was on a Facebook page, a group that I'm part of for Twin Flames, and this person was just devastated with the situation of their relationship, and in their description of it, it just, it's I can't even call it a relationship because it was something that she wanted and another person didn't. And I said, this doesn't sound like it's your person, but put that aside and work on yourself. And anyway, somebody popped in and said, you know, and also it was very, you know, there were a lot of negatives and hurt going on there. This person was basically telling this other person to buzz off and stay away, and I'm not interested in you, right? And I said, that doesn't sound like your person. Your person is going to make you want, you know, you're going to feel good when you're in love. Sure. Anyway, so somebody else chimes in and says, well, it sounds to me like you might not know much about twin flames. I've done a lot of research on this, and the twin flame journey is full of difficulty and full of pain. And they went on to say that, you know, perhaps your journey is a different one than the twin flame journey, right? So, you know, here's my thought on that. You know, in life, you know, that's her perception of her reality, of a label that she is choosing to define herself with. And so in life, you know, we all have choices to learn about topics. And then within that, just like we have people that we like to listen to, but 100% of what we learn is not what we want to adapt, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, absolutely not. I mean, I hear a lot of things every day. I try to learn something new every day, but I don't always take it on.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So because this person, with all her knowledge, you know, had adapted the notion that the twin flame journey is a painful one, and they choose to live in the drama of that, chasing a person whom they say, and these are their words, is running from them, and that is part. These are their words. That is part of the label of the twin flame journey. So yes, I would say they do see what Jeffrey and I have as something different, right?
Well, I guess, you know, we always say this, your perception is your reality. So yes. This person, I don't really know much about this, Karen. I fire up these videos and just let them roll. But, you know, I'm kind of hearing this story. This person, that's their reality. That's what they think about, right. What they think twin flames are.
Right.
You know, we have a relationship. We had this great relationship before we ever knew what the label twin flames meant. Never heard of it.
Never.
And you know, probably 20-something years into our relationship, Karen saw it, crossed your path somehow, and said, "Hey, I think we're twin flames." We looked at it, checking all the boxes underneath the label. Yep, so it made sense.
But different boxes than this person's checking, because there are a lot of theories and different theories out there, right?
Yeah. Although I've seen lots of definitions of twin flames, yes. And the boxes are similar. You know, about what a twin flame is. I mean, the people have different things around it. Like I guess what I don't resonate with when I hear about all this pain and right. Suffering, and you know, it's a very painful relationship. That doesn't sound great to me. I mean, right. Now, you know, people do have ups and downs. I get it. We've had ups and downs, and those kinds of things happen. But you know, it doesn't have to be a painful journey, I guess is the point. It doesn't have to be under the label, right?
Right, and for us, our understanding of what it is, but it doesn't even matter. She wanted to define, she wanted to let this other person know, yes, that's part of the twin flame label, is that person wants nothing to do with you, but you need to do that work, that mirroring, and you'll get them. But yet my relationship and the person speaking is not in a relationship, nor is the person that she's giving advice to. And but her opinion of our relationship, and I said mine because I was the only one conversing with her, but it's ours. I mean, Jeffrey and I are the S that we talk about. We are the relationship, but it doesn't have to have, if she doesn't want to label what we have as twin flames, I don't care. Are we twin flames? I mean, are we soulmates? You know, I have theories that we're probably both, but none of that matters.
Well, none of it really
doesn't
matters.
Define who
right.
we are.
Right. We have a relationship that's, you know, probably one of the best relationships I know of. And, you know, we've had people tell us that all the time, which is great. Feels good. But, you know, what do you want to call that? I mean, we're in a relationship that looks like twin flames, I guess, if you want to use the label. You know, we live in the USA, so, you know, we're Americans. You know, there's certain things that kind of fall upon you just because that's what we do in this human life. We we call things by name.
Right.
You know, we call this a fireplace, right?
Right.
And you know, most of it's directionally correct, but you have to be careful, I think, when it comes to personalities and things that are near and dear to your heart and it could affect your journey in life, is getting labeled and getting put into a box. You know, when you're talking about people,
Right.
it's different when I call that a fireplace, right? Or if I call this person,
Right.
you know, a vegan, for instance, right?
Right.
It's it kind of puts you in a box that if you're
Right.
not careful, it may be confining. It might not let you expand or go to that next level. You hear a lot of people talking about, you know, the Great Awakening, you know, that journey that's going on.
Right.
That means a different thing to a lot of different people. I mean, I'm looking out there right now, it's just so bright and beautiful. The colors seem so much richer, you know, since everything that's gone on here, and there has been a shift. And it, you know, that awakening and that shift for me is probably different than it is for you or for anybody else out there.
Right.
Doesn't mean it's right or wrong. That's
Right.
the point.
That's such a beautifully put. So the Great Awakening journey that everyone's talking about, it might, it very well be different, will be different for many people.
Of course,
Many people will awaken during this time under very different circumstances and different beliefs and different choices. Yet, are they not having the Great Awakening? If that's what you decide that you want it to be or label it, that's fine. But the point is that when labels become toxic is when somebody says, this is the definition of, you know, something. And there is
Or someone.
or someone.
Or really someone.
Someone is
Because
right.
it's something, as I said, the fireplace
Exactly.
is something. Right, yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Excellent point. That this is the definition of someone. First of all, that's their perception, that's their reality, and it's really important that we don't allow people to put labels onto us and to define us. If they want in their mind to define us in a particular way, I have no control over that. I also don't care, right? The only time it's a concern is if you let it bother you. I wish they could see Mia. She's trying to peek through. Come here, Mia.
She's just trying to get through.
Yeah, come here, Mia. So again, the only time it's an issue is if, for example, I let it bother me or affect the person that I am. So it's really important to release the labels and instead, you know, try to achieve the root of what it is. For example, you know, the twin flame or the soulmate. All these people really want is the love in a relationship.
Yeah, they want the
right?
love of their life. I mean, this is a life. It's a short life. They want to experience that goodness.
Right.
That's what they're looking for.
Exactly. And if you decide to take the plant-based journey, you know, people go all different reasons. It might be for health reasons or spirituality or animal reasons. But whatever that is, it's all your choice. And it doesn't matter how someone else defines it and labels it. If they want to say, well, you're not a vegan, okay. If that makes you feel better, you can call me whatever you want. And that's the point. Labels are very toxic. So we need to release them. And, you know, I think everybody's guilty of
course,
putting a label, you know, on people. It's sort of been something we've been taught, right?
It's a descriptor. It's how we communicate. So
Right.
that's how we describe things. We do put a name or a label on it. That's just the way it works. But it gets tougher when you're talking about people. And
Yeah.
it gets, I want to say, dangerous when you talk
Can
about
be.
people. I'm just talking socially dangerous.
Right?
Oh, it
can
can be worse. Right, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
It can be. So anyway, if someone's trying to define you with labels or your relationship with labels, that's not your view. That's their view, and let that go. If you're the one defining, maybe that's something you want to look at and something that you might want to release because it probably doesn't serve you well, right? So on that note, it's a gorgeous day. I think we are going to head out and ski. So
Yep.
wishing you great health, abundant happiness, and outrageous love from the Nest at Copper Mountain.
Thanks, guys.